once again, God, this is the vibe. If you don't know Chris Bill, you should. Yeah, so slept like dog shit last night. Part of my gig is I'm a crisis manager, and with that comes these awesome phone calls in the middle of the night where I have to get everything right so we can keep moving. And I have a great team, so they make it pretty easy. But once I get up, my brain starts working. And once my brain starts working, forget about it. So I have my haircut lady. This is going to sound like whatever. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it does to me. So my haircut lady, Miss Candy, is moving. And when I get my haircut, I love the conversations that we have. She's very, very religious, and I love just bouncing my theories and things off of her. And what I find often is we're often aligned. However, she did it through the Bible, and I also have another friend that when I get these scriptures or whatever it is that come across to me, and I have no idea what they are. I've never read it. I send them to him and say, hey, what does this mean to you? And what I'm finding is my path has been 1,000% organic. And after my Kundalini event, I've been doing a lot of soul searching, reflecting, and coming to some truths. So I'm gonna go way back on you. When I was little, I kept having this reoccurring dream, and it's gonna sound weird, but I was looking at the earth, and then there's this thing that goes across the sky, and it has a rainbow behind it, and I felt nervous. And then it didn't like come to where I was standing or whatever. It just kind of kept on going. Then I had this dream again. I felt nervous, and it didn't happen like nothing. That was the end of the dream. And this happened, I don't know, lots and lots, to where I'm in my late 40s and I completely remember it like yesterday. But there's a moment where I see that, and then I'm like, what is this about? Or I'm ready, right? Fucking ta-da. There's this thing next to me, and I don't think we're talking, but I think we're communicating. And I look at this thing, and he's asking me if I'm ready, and I don't know, I don't even know what the fuck that means in the dream, right? And I look at him, and these aren't my words. This is what comes out of me to him. Is I said, I'm like, I have to work on compassion. And then there's this thing I'm going to go into, and I remember thinking, this is going to take a long time. And then I remember thinking, well, time is irrelevant. And I did it, right? But there's one moment in that dream when he was next to me, I still was nervous, but I was curious, right? Like whatever, I was just curious. And then I had this just feeling of pure love, and that's when I was comfortable with going through this circle thing. And in my dream, I remembered that feeling, and that feeling has kind of been my driving force. So I've felt that feeling twice in my life when I was awake, right? I didn't know you could feel feelings in your dreams, but you do 100%. So that feeling I've only felt twice is the birth of my children. And I know that feeling to be just pure love. So how in my dream did I actually have a feeling of just pure love to where I knew I was comfortable? So learning about star seeds and all this shit, I'm like, holy shit, maybe I'm one of those things, right? Which is nuts to even think about, because everybody thinks they're the product of their mom and dad, which you are, but there's a second part of you, which is your soul. in your spirit. And what I know now is I also travel for work to go to my region and when I go out to eat dinner, I like to have conversations, and I ask people a simple question: how many voices you got in your head, man? And I'll be damned if I wasn't if I didn't have my mind blown when very few people have a singular voice, which I know I probably didn't have just a singular voice. Me and the voice inside my head, yeah, we've been working together for a hot minute. When you come from nothing, when I say come from nothing, like, welfare ain't what it used to be, right? It used to be Acme milk, powdered milk that you would add water to it, government cheese. Don't get me wrong, I wish that government cheese was not bad, man. That shit was actually best grilled cheese. But the struggle, right? So when you're in the struggle, you want to blame others. And I don't know if I ever blamed others, but I did. I don't know. But I know it molded me. And when I say mold, our life is a series of different tests, right? And these are the part that this world doesn't see. They're karmic tests. They're things that are in place with an expected outcome, right? And when you don't follow the expected outcome, what does that mean? That means you're your own being, right? Your own sovereign being. And if I know anything to be true now, which I didn't know before my event, is man, I lost my train of thought. This fucking lady's outfit threw me off. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Well, no, I'm not gonna end it. So, Miss Candy, I'm talking to her this last time, and we're having our normal conversation. And I started asking her, I was like, well, I'll tell you that my journey has been very organic, right? Like, I've just followed what I believe to be true. And from my friends, what I believe to be true is very biblical. However, I don't think I'm going to stick to my organic path, right? I'm being drawn right now to go learn about things that I think were removed from religion on purpose, and see what I can find out, right? To find my own version of the truth. But on my path, it started with one thing, right? As an engineer, the amount of times that I was seeing repeating numbers, the odds of how often it was happening with me looking at times and shit. And that's how I know I'm in the right place, right? Like, there's a bridge right here. It's 11 feet, 11 inches. And I see 1111 every time I pull into this place and make these videos. But 1111 is what started my journey. I kept seeing it over and over and over. And then I started, like, I had days where every time I looked at the clock, it was repeating numbers. And now, since my Kundalini event, I'm being told that I'm projecting a mirror of myself. And now I find myself seeing 808, 909, or 1212. You know what I mean? Like, reflections of itself. So I don't believe in coincidences. But the thing that I did that changed my life is once I saw those repeating numbers, I paused, took a deep breath, and then whatever I was thinking about or whatever I was looking at, I was like, I'm going to learn more about whatever that is. And string theory, chakras all over the place, but each one I left with one of two things: either this is bullshit, or man, I think there's something to that. And I've left myself with a bunch of I think there's something to that, but I'm comfortable with what I know about it. And if I can say anything for today, I don't want to make this too long, When you see the repeating numbers, stop, breathe, and chase whatever you're thinking about. And when I said that to Miss Candy, I watched her eyes and her demeanor change, like, okay, I'm going to try that. And I don't know if it's going to work or not going to work, but I do believe me and Candy were meant to have these conversations together, because she's part of my path. But whatever. I'll do more videos. And I will say, initially I thought I was like just this suitcase of money was going to get dropped off at my house, which sounds fucking ridiculous, right? So then I start seeing these Powerball things, like, okay, over and over again. I'm like, I always follow my gut now. I was like, maybe this is a sign. I went and played it, didn't win, right? And I was like, damn, man, I thought that was going to happen. Like, in like my heart, I thought that was going to happen. It didn't happen. Crazy. But what did I do? I haven't stopped playing the Powerball, and nobody's won it yet. So maybe, just maybe, it wasn't large enough to do what I want to do with this money. And what do I want to do with this money? If you're struggling, if you've just been put in a bad place, or you got fantastic ideas and the world's like you're crazy, but we can do things a little bit better for this world, let's see if I hit that Powerball, because we're going to have some conversations, because I think we're here to make a change for the positive, and I'm excited. And whether that happens or not, I think I'm still on the right path, and whatever will happen will get me to where I need to be. But miracles happen. I've manifested everything in my life, right? I have a crazy job, and if you know where I came from, and retired out of the military, and then joined this crazy Fortune 5 company with a whole new career, no ideas, and then 5 years I'm running the craziest city and I'm their crisis manager. That's not very reasonable, right? But what if I told you that was a thought in my head? I was like, man, that's crazy. I bet you I could run New York City. Wow. Okay. Turns out that's what I'm doing. So you gotta believe, man. That's all I gotta say. Peace, love, and light.